If that intro track doesn't make you want to pour a drink, sit back and relax with us, I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. What up, everybody? Abs, how you doing? Italy, you awake? Hey, Italy,
I'm awake.
No,
I'm awake.
Did we get one of these last? I don't even think we got one of these last episode, bro. Oh my gosh,
that's a good question. I don't recall.
I think I did.
I don't think you did.
I don't think you did.
Roll the tape. We'll roll the tape later. We'll roll the tape later.
Yeah, I think it is. I feel like last week was like your first day of OTAs. You know what I'm saying? Like you still, you coming back. You really enjoyed vacation. You gotta get your shit together, right? So I'm glad we got it.
I actually made it to mini camp. I made it to mini camp.
Gunny, what up, my guy? How you doing?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing? Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. It's freaking Wednesday. It's called Hump Day, so the majority of us get to be looking forward to the weekend here relatively shortly. As I always say, man, I'm living the dream. Glad to be here.
Yeah, buddy, we're gonna have fun tonight, bro. Yo, we got our boy this week, Big Pac. What up, Brandon? How you doing, bro?
What's up? How we doing? Happy to join the show tonight.
Listen, I gotta be honest with you, B. Last season we had you every week, Brandon's brain. I don't know if everybody on the panel in the chat has noticed. Brandon Pogris is like a superstar. So I see you everywhere, bro. You're on Aspen everywhere. So round of applause. Brandon finally getting the recognition he deserves. How you doing? Look how red he turned.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys locking in with us. We're gonna have fun tonight. We'll do a quick roll call. So we're gonna break down Brandon's article that he wrote for the Jets X Factor. I thought this one was great for us to start the episode with, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build the worst Jets PTSD offense in the history amongst all of us. So we'll give our answers. But the chat, you guys will control the poll. You will actually fill out the offense. It'll be your pick. You can hurt our feelings and be like, you're all wrong. We'll give people a chance to come up and give their takes. Let's do a roll call real quick. Let's see. Daniel Perry is in the building. What up? Oh, yeah. Snowball. Oh, everybody's whipping their guns out. That's why I put Gunny and Abby on the top of the screen, just pointing that out. Yeah, buddy. Who else we got? Oh, I was like, look, it's Gunny. Yeah, what's going on? Frankie from Flatbush is in the building. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We'll do a roll call. We'll keep it going. But Brandon, let's start with you, bro, because this article this week, the 4 free agents the Jets should target. I figured, would you be all right? Let's go each one that you wrote in the article. Give us your reasoning, and then let's go around the table and let's figure out if we all agree with you or if we think you're out of your flipping mind. I think it's a fun way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the first one in this article was safety Quandre Diggs. Essentially, with him, he would be more of that rotational coverage safety where he's not as good of a tackler as you would want at that position, but you have that in Chuck Clark. You have that in what would look like your other starting safety. This is a signing, in my opinion, that I would look for if, let's say, a Tony Adams is struggling in coverage and Ashton Davis isn't stepping up to the point that you would expect him to. And while he might have lost a step, if you don't need to use him as frequently as he was when he was in Detroit or early on in Seattle, but still get the coverage that you need out of him, I think would be a nice depth addition at the very least for the Jets defense.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to start this one with you, Gunny. I want your thoughts on it, bro. Same page, different take. Talk about it.
So for me, when it comes to the safety position, I think I'm one of the individuals that I think I want to stay put. I really do. I think I like Tony Adams. I really love Chuck Clark. We didn't really get a chance to kind of see him play last year. We were really, really hyped about what he was going to bring to the table. This is a guy with the Baltimore Ravens that didn't get, cut or got thrown away because he was bad at football. They spent a high draft pick, in his replacement. So they went with Hamilton and let him go. I think Chuck Clark also was playing with a chip on his shoulder. I'm excited to go ahead and have him come here because he's already kind of been verbal about the fact that he feels disrespected. He didn't like the way things ended in Baltimore. This is a guy who's really well coached, who's had to earn his way through the NFL. And I think he's going to surprise us on the back end of this defense, man. So I'm actually one of the few probably that's okay with our safety room. I think Chuck Clark is going to surprise some people, and I do expect Tony Adams to take the next step. But yeah, so again, Not saying, what I'm saying, I disagree with Brandon in terms of bringing in more talent. That's always a good thing to bring in more talent. But if you told me today that we had to go ahead and bring in somebody based off limited cap space, I wouldn't put money in bringing somebody into the safety room.
Great take. And Brandon, what I love is that you did put the caveat to it is if Tony Adams isn't holding together, right? If Clark isn't showing that he is recovered, right? So that's why I was like, yeah, you know what? If that does not, because I think a lot of us are comfortable. I'm with you, Gunny, with what we have right now. But if we see in training camp, we start seeing that there's a piece missing, I would actually agree with you, B. I was like, okay, when I read the article, I was like, I can get behind this one. Italy, you want to talk on it? I know you love defense, bro.
I'm with Gunny. If you would have said maybe like a couple months ago, yeah, I would definitely get Diggs, but now I kind of want to see a couple of the cornerbacks, Converse or Stiggers, go to a safety position eventually. I do like where we're at with Chuck Clark. You're going to get pissed off Chuck Clark coming off an injury, the disrespect in Baltimore. I wanted him in free agency last year, and we got him. I think you're going to get a guy that's got a chip on his shoulder, just like Stiggers coming in. So I really like Adams. I like Ashton right now, but never say never. It's going to be a long summer. You never know what's going to happen with the Jets as always. But right now I am going to stay put because I want to see what happens.
And I love that you brought up Stiggers. Like I think it was VR. There it is. VR said Stiggers looks very fluid. His movement looks natural. And Brent, I know when I think it was when you were on Jake's show, when you were at camp and kind of watching stuff, you talked about Stiggers a little bit. Do you see that they can possibly, do any of you think they can possibly use Stiggers if he is going to be maybe in both areas? Because the kid knows how to play corner and safety. Could you see them being like that multiple piece with him?
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe for this year.
If they need
right?
it. If needed. Right?
Yeah,
For this year, right?
If they needed it. Yes. I think maybe for this year, but I'm just not a fan of the guy that I think could potentially be your starting corner opposite of Sauce Gardner in 2025. Not really the biggest fan of trying to move him all over to safety, to corner, back to safety, and possibly screwing up his development. I want him getting as many reps at one spot as possible so he can hit the ground running when he is eventually given that starting role.
Fair. All right, so Abs, I was going to throw it to you, but I'm going to let him go to the second one, and we're going to start with your take on who's next. Deal?
No, that's perfect because I love this second person. So go ahead.
Look at that. I'm learning you. Here we go. Get it to us. Who's the second one, B?
So you guys didn't like the first safety. There's a second safety on the list because the caveat with Diggs doesn't exactly exist for Justin Simmons, who I put as the second player on the list. Now, obviously, money and cap space aside, because that's probably the biggest issue right now with bringing Simmons in. This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade from what the Jets have. This is an upgrade over Chuck Clark. This is an upgrade over Tony Adams. This is an upgrade over Ashton Davis. Simmons is a player, even if he slowed down a little bit last year, which he did, he's great in coverage. He's great tackling. He brings you an all-around presence that, quite frankly, not many safeties in the league can do. You add this guy to the Jets defense, you are increasing the upside, which is crazy to say, by the way, the upside of your secondary. You're making life easier for Sauce. You're making life easier for DJ Reed. You're making life easier for Michael Carter II. Hell, if you want Tony Adams to develop, you might make life easier for him and get someone where he can learn from in a short term to possibly still even take those steps forward in the future. And I just think he's the type of player where if all things are equal, obviously, and we don't know what the cap situation is going to be, we don't know how the position is going to shape out, but even outside of that, if all things were equal, this is probably my favorite possible addition for the Jets to make in free agency right now.
Now, Abs, before you explain that smile on your face and your take on this, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting the night off with a test poll. Right now, we've got a poll running. Who is more jacked, Gunny or Abs? Abs, talk on Justin Simmons. Let's go.
So back in March, let me just point this out. Back in March, Take Flight Talks and I think MC Takes went ahead and we did who would be our first 5 calls. Justin Simmons was my 5th call on that list. So again, we don't know cap space or anything like that. I would love to add Justin Simmons to this roster. I know Italy and Gunny, they're pretty much set. That's still one I think could use some improvement. And again, we don't know what's going to happen. DJ Reed, we're going to have to figure that out. And I'm just not confident yet in some of these other new additions that we've had. I just think they need time to develop. So I'm all for adding Justin Simmons to the roster. I've been that way for the last 3 months.
Sprinkle a little bit of that. Abs came in powerful on that one. I'm not going to go to Italy or Gunny because we talked about the safety room. But Gunny, I saw you twitch a couple of times like you wanted to say something about Simmons, or was that just you trying to earn more votes in the poll?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose out to Abs, man. She must love working out the shoulders or something. But not in terms of Simmons, I will say this: I would not be mad at it. There isn't a bone in my body that will be upset about it. I think Simmons is one of those guys who's still playing at a Pro Bowl level. Again, I am not a believer that we need to add to the safety room. But again, you bring in a guy like Simmons, I think it's more of a we're going to punch you in the mouth type of move, letting everybody know how serious we are about the season. So I would not be mad at it. Just wanted to throw that out there in terms of I might not think we need to add to the safety room, but Simmons is one of those dudes. He's a dog. And if you can add more dogs to this roster, you really can't go ahead and miss out on the opportunity.
Nailed it. All right, Italy, I'm going to start the next one with you, bro. And being the producer, I stopped the poll right when it was a 50-50 split. Oh, we got no winner. Brandon.
And I voted for Abs.
Yeah, he's there. All right, there we go. She's like, I voted for you. All right, who we got
No,
next?
Gunny and I have beef. I did not vote for him.
Hey,
I
Porto,
can't wait to talk about the beef. I cannot wait. What were we gonna say, B?
Porto, just don't rig the roster stuff later in the show. Rig it now. Get it out of the way.
That I won't rig. This was a test poll. The button works. We're good. Look, guys, real quick, we got over 175 rocking with us right now on a Wednesday night. We know the NBA draft is on. The Yanks and Subway Series is on. We know you guys have all kinds of content you can choose to watch, but you're choosing to rock with us tonight. We appreciate that. If you're over on X, come over to YouTube just for the fact for these amazing polls. You missed out on who's jacked, who should run this no team sleeve voting process. And just like that, I think the number went down in viewership. Yo, Brandon, who's the next one on the list, bro?
So this is a name that I think a lot of people might not remember because he was out all of last year. But I put Russell Gage, the former Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver. The key thing about free agents right now is not every guy is going to be just immediate starter and plug them right into the starting lineup. When you're making these signings, you want to fill roles. You want to fill specific things that might pop up in the future. And as fun as the Jets receiver additions have been this offseason, they might have a depth issue. We're not sure how Mike Williams' health is going to be right off the bat. How is Xavier Gibson going to translate in year 2? How's Jason Brownlee going to translate in year 2? What does Alan Lazard look like? Gage is a player where he does two things really well. He creates separation in short areas, and he catches the ball for the most part. As a depth option, that is a guy that any team would likely want to add to their roster, that any team would want to just plug in as your wide receiver 4 or 5, because you give Aaron Rodgers that type of safety valve, that might be the difference between converting 3 third downs in the game or punting on 2 of them. And that can be the difference between winning and losing a game. So Gage might not be the star. He might not be Devontae Adams or Brandon Ayuk or one of these major additions that we would all love to add at wide receiver. But if they needed it, I feel like he's the type of player where you add to the roster and he does just enough for you where you're satisfied with it.
So, Italy, I'm going to throw it to you. And that's kind of what led me to making the thumbnail, what we did tonight with the receivers, right? Because you hear the reports that even Gibson's looking good, right? They're thinking he's going to take a little leap in the second season. So I think a lot of the conversations still are, hey, we're happy with our wide receiver, but who really is the 3, right? Is Lazard the 3? Is Lazard really the 4? Like we have those question marks. Do you, by any chance, Brand, do you have the numbers on Gage last season?
Gage he missed all last year with a torn right patellar tendon.
So he's coming off the injury.
He's coming off the injury this year. Yes.
Okay. Italy, I'm going to toss it to you, bro. And
you muted.
Tell him. Oh, I wasn't going to tell him. I was going to let him wait.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
There he is.
I think competition's everything. I wouldn't mind bringing Gage in. I mean, he had some really good spells with the Falcons and Buccaneers, but overall, you don't know what this wide receiver room is really going to be, especially from 4th 5th and 6th. I think the competition with Brownlee and Gibson, they're going to probably take some big leaps this year. You don't know what Lazard's going to be. I wouldn't mind seeing Gage come in. I wouldn't mind seeing the competition. I think overall, I mean, his hands are great. I love when he catches the ball because the burst and speed when he catches it is really great on the sides. So overall, I wouldn't mind it. Cheap too. I mean, coming from an injury, yeah, competition, more the better.
I'm gonna go to you, Abs, for a sec too, because last week when we had Cynthia on, we talked wide receivers, right? Because we were breaking down you putting Garrett Wilson at the number 2 and telling Jalen Waddle to waddle his ass somewhere else. So with the way the wide receiver room is, would Gage be an option you think makes sense? Would you take that risk with a guy coming off the injury and see if he can produce?
I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of set with the wide receiver room. Obviously, like Italy doesn't agree and other people may not agree, but I'm not going to take another risk on an injury. We did that with Mike Williams. And again, we're looking at all these players that are going to continue to develop. Obviously, we've heard OTAs went really well for like Xavier Gibson, and obviously Malachi Corley is another name too. So I don't know. I'm honestly just kind of set at the wide receiver room. I think safety is something that I would put as more important need for the New York Jets right now.
Fair. Gunny, I'm gonna let you touch on this one too, bro. I think it's worth having everybody's take on it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I think the last time we saw Gage, he had close to 500 yards, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 TDs for the Buccaneers, I believe it was. So this is the guy as a wide receiver 3 or 4. You're not mad at it, right? Again, he has a very, very low drop rate. He's very consistent when it comes to the hands. I believe the injury was the patella tendon. It was a patella tendon right on one of his knees, I think it was. So it all depends on how much it's going to cost us, and of course, like where he's at in terms of coming back healthy. Again, I wouldn't hate it only because you do have questions about Mike Williams. How confident are we in the rookies taking that next, not the rookies, but those undrafted guys in Brownlee and Gibson really taking the next step when the bullets start flying. So you in essence have Garrett Wilson right now and Alan Lazard as your 2 guys are going to go ahead and get reps. So for me, bringing in a guy like, I think he's also like over 6 feet, like 6'1", 6'2". He's not a small guy either, right? So like, another big body you add to that freaking wide receiver room. I'm not mad at it, but again, it's not my priority in terms of like need. I have my focuses on. I'm with Abby on this one. The interior offensive line right now is where I want to kind of go towards. I know she said the safety for me is the interior offensive line, but again, if you bring that guy in, I understand why. And again, if he can go ahead and give you the kind of production he did, just 2 years ago at a cheap price, you're not going to be mad at it. You can't be mad at it.
Yeah. And I'll pull up some of the comments because I saw like New York Jets super fan in the chat. I don't think we need wide receivers. I think guard and safety are more a need, kind of going along with what you were saying too, Gunny, with, interior O-line depth. We got Dano here saying the same thing. On Ab's side, I remember Abs, again, she's brought up Connor McGovern time and time again. Get him signed,
I will continue to.
Right? So, again, it seems like this chat, be as good as it is, in line with everything. Guys, we've got over 200 rocking with us in the building. How you doing? Brandon, you got one more option for us, bro, right? Break down the fourth one, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah, so Gunny, you mentioned interior offensive line. The last one is an interior offensive lineman, but it's probably not someone that has been talked about too much. It's Mark, hopefully I get this last name right, Glowinski. He last played for the New York Giants. Look, at the end of the day, if a talented all-around offensive lineman was available, he would have been gone already. That's just the reality of the NFL. Offensive linemen are at a premium at almost every single position. But when it comes to guards, you're able to mix and match that more than you are with offensive tackles. And Glowinski, not exactly a great pass blocker. But in this case, what I looked at with him was the run blocking. And considering the type of signings that the Jets made this offseason, the way they drafted, whether it is bringing in John Simpson, whether it is drafting Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, they want to be more downhill. They want to be more power run heavy. And Glowinski, he had, he was a very, very good run blocker. He had positive grades in his past 3 seasons. So if they want to add someone where they want to keep their run game strong and they're not so worried about the pass game, and his struggles in it because Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out quick and the interior isn't going to be as much of an issue as the edge. He could be a guy that just bring in for more depth, more competition. At the end of the day, that's what you want with offensive line at this point. You want competition and to have the best overall unit, whether it is starters or backups.
Starters or backup. Great take there. Before I even toss it around, because I know everybody's gonna have a piece on this one. There was one that I saw here. I want to let everybody know in the chat. I dropped the link. Here's the actual link to the article for Brandon that we're breaking down right now over at Jets X Factor. Go support over there. Go check it out. Who wants to start on this one? You want to go first, Abs?
Yeah, I can.
Let's go.
This is one I wouldn't. Obviously, I'm a Connor McGovern girly. I've been saying his name over and over again. But I wouldn't be mad at this. I know I said that we weren't done adding to, or I was a little concerned about the safety room, but the O-line, add as many bodies as you need, and he's a healthy body, and that's literally what the Jets need. So if it's going to be a good back, he seems like a good backup option. So again, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't think the Jets are done. I know Italy has said it before. Jets aren't done adding to this offensive line yet. So the more bodies, the better. I wouldn't be mad at this.
Nice. Italy, go ahead, bro.
I mean, yeah, I've said it for a long time. I still think we're going to keep adding. I mean, there's a lot of cuts going to happen. Jets will even bring offensive linemen off the street. Come on in, Glowinski. Come on. Whatever happens, I load them up, whether it's McGovern, Victari, or Glowinski.
I'm going to throw it over to you, guys. I want to shout out Frankie. Frankie's just dropping gems in the chat tonight. Frankie's
the
on
Hunter
fire.
Renfro one, Frankie,
bro,
I
me
think
too.
is
I
a
was like,
heck of a gem. I forgot he was even still out there.
Gunny, I
Yeah,
went to
that's a good
reply,
one.
but I'm not logged into I'm in the main one. So I was like, oops, I can't respond. Way to go. Great. I want Renfro. So I'm right there. That's a name I would love to throw. But Gunny, go ahead, man. Talk on Glowinski.
Yeah, so I read the article earlier, Brandon. That's when I even knew who this guy was. I had no clue who he was. So of course I read the article. I was like, who the heck is this guy? And then I wind up, looking at some PFF breakdowns on whatnot, and all indications is as you just stated, right? The guy is a beast when it comes to the run game, and I do believe this offense, believe it or not, everybody's going to say that it's going to run through Aaron Rodgers. I do believe Breece Hall, Brandon Allen are going to be huge components as to how far this offense goes in 2024. I think they're going to want to focus primarily on the run game, get the ball in those guys' hands and letting them do work. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to do Aaron Rodgers things. But if you had to tell me right now who's going to be the primary freaking weapon offensively for the Jets, I'm putting money on Breece Hall. So I like the fact that in terms of his run blocking ability, he's impressive. He's angry. He finishes his freaking blocks. He moves freaking bodies out of the interior. So I love that about him. The passing, I think he got he's 20-something pressures, right? 24 pressures. That's a lot. That's concerning. But again, you're talking about an Aaron Rodgers who I think will allow the offensive line to be a little bit better. Even those ones who struggle to hold up on their blocks because of his ability to go ahead and read defenses and make those pre-snap adjustments. So I like it. Again, I love McGovern. McGovern's who I want. I love McGovern. I'm hoping he comes on. But again, I didn't know about this guy. But after reading your article earlier, I looked him up and I was like, you know what? Wouldn't be mad about that either and bringing him in. Because again, he's going to be an asset in terms of backup support for that interior offensive line when it comes to the running game.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know if you guys like this, but I kind of like taking a Brandon article, breaking down this freaking brain of his.
Yeah.
This is how I think, I would love it. So everybody in the chat, so Brandon, this is what we will be doing. He will be a part of the panel with us every week, just like this. Let's do some house cleaning stuff. Over 200 in the building. If you're over on X, we're about to start building our PTSD Jets worst players of all time roster. We want you to vote with us. Just come over here, smack the like, hit the subscribe, do the shit you're trained to do, people. What do we have to beg? Please hit the like. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is we had everybody kind of come prepared with their answers, guys. We're gonna go around the horn. We'll start with the offense this week. We'll do defense next week. They don't know which one of them I'm going to call on for who they're going to give for their take. Some of them might not even have a take. I don't know. We're not structuring shit. All right, we're going for it. Abs looks like she is so prepared and happy about this. And I really think it's because of this quarterback conversation that we're going to have to start with, right?
Man,
so let's start first with let's build the worst offense ever. We're going to give everybody a couple seconds. Guys, get over to YouTube at Morning Brew Sports so you can come vote with us. There's, again, 210 people right now. Come on, get over here, hang out. All right, By the way, how dope is the Batman graphic with
Man,
that?
I love it.
Love it.
I'm trying to get
That's
the
Absolutely love it.
That's,
I couldn't find the flashlight, to make the
Yeah.
jet signal pop up. We'll figure it out eventually. Oh, Dan Murphy says, "You guys got no guns. I got $2 worth of guns." Hard not to feel good about this team's talent. That's why we want to go through PTSD, Dan. We're so high on everything we have. Let's
Gotta bring us
humble
back down to
ourselves.
earth.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was your idea, Porto.
Yeah,
This was 100%.
we were all
Porto's
disgusted.
idea. Yeah.
If
The
y'all,
funny
if y'all
part is-
saw how
Our
we
group
attacked
chat.
this man when he brought this idea to us a couple of days ago, but then he stuck to his guns and we wind up, all right, fine, we'll do it. But we were disgusted by it. We all had to take showers after this. It was not the best of
Cold
times.
shower. A cold
The best
shower.
part is, damn well this entire chat's like, yeah, we knew it had to be his idea. I mean, he's the idiot that would say, let's do it on a Wednesday night. All right, so here we go. Let's grab this real quick. Hey, our boy Johnny is in the building. What up? What's good? Another chat?
La chismosa.
Guys, appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Let's kick this off. Let's have some fun. Hold on. Before I even pull the first graphic, VR said, Zach Wilson, I win. All right, hold on. Before we even kick it off, can we talk about Zach Wilson? Just 1 second. I didn't think I'd actually say these words ever again. We all saw the hair, right?
New hairdo.
People hating on the hair, but I want to give a take here. All right, I'm gonna put my Jets fandom and hatred towards what he's done to us. My man was on vacation with his girl in Italy. My dude came back feeling like Leonardo DiCaprio. Yo, Italy, he's walking around giving you an andiamo. They're getting a whole new remix, Zach Wilson. Is he going to change, Gunny?
No. What do you like? Listen, I okay. You know what? I'll say this. I think Zach Wilson. I don't know if y'all saw freaking the Buffalo Jets fan breakdown of quarterbacks over the last couple of years. He put a video out, man, and I sat there again in disgust at just how bad it was. But Zach Wilson is so far below the spectrum of what an NFL quarterback even looks like that even if he was to get 2, 3, 4 times better, he would still be a below average freaking backup quarterback in the NFL. That's his ceiling, a below average backup in the NFL. So personally, I don't think it's going to matter. I know you're hearing all this stuff like he's looking great in training camp. Did he not look great in many a training camps for the New York Jets? That's never been his issue. Great practice guy. When the bullets start flying, though, my man is a shell of himself. So I don't believe it's going to matter. But let's be honest, I think every Jets fan is going to be watching Broncos games just to hope that it wasn't us, that it's in fact him. Because if he does succeed, I ain't going to lie to you, I'll be a little salty about it and disgusted in the fact that we let Geno Smith get away and he's looking like he's a competent quarterback. And then for it to happen to Zach, I'd be a little salty. Just saying.
I just want to say I love that the Zach conversation came up organically because if there was any better way to start the PTSD moment, when he got angry talking about it, he was like, "Oh, care about his hair." The VR says he left Zach Wilson and came back. Zach will daddy.
That is funny. The mom's got to be more concerned now. So
Yep.
Right.
he looks like a grown man.
After watching practice, I feel bad for Zach. Oh gosh, I've heard those lines so many times. All right, let's do it, guys. Brandon's in this. We're all in it. Chat, get ready. We're gonna start off with who are we going with quarterbacks worst ever in Jets history? Who do we want to add to this poll? I'm gonna start with Gunny. Give me your QB, bro.
So
I'm gonna mute myself right now.
I want to first apologize to one of my fellow co-hosts here. Nothing but love for you. You know this, but this has to be done. This has to be said.
Wait. Dude, I feel like we should test it. We're at 215 people watching right now. I want to see after you say the name, how many leave.
No, I want to see the comments roll through.
Here we go.
Okay,
Gunny,
in terms
drop
of
the first QB.
For me, one of the worst quarterbacks that we've had to endure, I'm gonna say, man, Mark Sanchez. And again, I know a great deal of you are gonna look at me and say this guy gave us some of the best playoff experiences of our lives. But if you've had the privilege, or if you want to call it that, of watching freaking Mark Sanchez play freaking football, you need to understand this is a guy that had the #1 rushing attack in football for 3 years, the best offensive line in football for 5 years, a top 3 defense in the NFL for freaking his tenure. And let's be honest, when it mattered most, the guy didn't show up. I think he under-delivered, especially for his draft stock, for where he was drafted. He's another reason why I don't like USC quarterbacks. I think a lot of them are overrated quite a bit. I think they all get hyped up. I'm telling you right now, Caleb Williams is a bust. It's just a matter of when we all get to see it. It's bound to happen. But yeah, I think Mark Sanchez, again, I appreciate the fact that he did bring us a couple of AFC freaking playoff. Like, we went to the playoffs with him. He did his thing. I'm gonna give him that. But in terms of with that team around him, what he should have been able to accomplish, I just think he fell short dramatically. And again, the butt fumble thing, he made us a meme, people. He literally made us a meme. Literally, any single time now somebody has something to say about us. Hey, aren't you guys the butt? You guys are the butt fumble team. Like, that's literally still to this day something individuals use against us, and that's compliments of a freaking Mark Sanchez. So for me, I look at it like this. I appreciate the time because he did at least give us some postseason success. But in terms of the team he had around him, his draft stock, Mark Sanchez drastically underdelivered. I just feel like he's one of those quarterbacks that needs to be mentioned when it comes to this. Again, Abs, I'm sorry. I hope we can still be friends, but we've been beefing ever since I gave my freaking list.
And for those of you in the chat, right, that may not be Gunny's number one worst ever. We all were, asked everybody to come up with different, and everybody would have probably been on the same page with what the answer is. We all know the worst and whatever. So I think this was more, everybody wanted to have a different take, so you guys can vote, because again, you guys are going to choose who makes the roster. We're not just pointing out who sucks. We want to make this team, and the goal is, my son's friend said he will build us a Madden team. He'll build the roster so that we can take our offense and defense that we build and put up against our 25 season. We're gonna have fun with this shit, people. Abby, I tried to calm her down, give her a minute to breathe, but she was still shaking her leg. You saw the mic moving and everything. Go ahead, Abs.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You just said it yourself. Back-to-back AFC championships. And if you follow me on any of my social media pages, you know I would die on a hill for Mark Sanchez. He is arguably the last decent Jets quarterback that we've had. That's the whole reason I'm a New York Jets fan in general. I'm not here for the Mark Sanchez slander ever. And the fact that that's the best one you could come up with. And let me tell you something. You want to talk about the bump fumble highlight? When I looked at two videos today of all the best plays from the New York Jets. Mark Sanchez was pretty much in all of the videos. Okay? You're lucky my mic drop. That's my little mic drop. Ridiculous.
Okay. Listen, the best part is she got so heated. Now we have to keep her talking. So, Abs, we get your Sanchez feelings. All right. So, who do you want to be the starting worst QB for our Madden team?
You know, a bunch of names came to mind. But I think the easiest one, and one Italy will agree with, Hackenberg. No stats. If you look at his page, no stats.
No stats.
He didn't do nothing. And then today I was watching all Jets highlights today. There was a play where it broke down just how terrible he was. And when he started in a preseason game, I mean, he got ate up by the Detroit Lions, backup, defensive line. Just absolutely awful. Second round pick, did absolutely nothing. It was an absolute waste. And yeah, he was the easiest option for me. But honorable mention, I will say, I'll say Geno Smith. We're not going to dive into that, but honorable mention for me.
Now, I'm going to be 100% transparent. When I came up with this idea, the other piece that I started working on was I was going to pull up a graphic for the ones you guys sent me, right? So I would know who you were choosing, and I'd pull up their stats. Well, the very first one I went to pull up was Christian Hackenberg. I laughed so hard, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this.
Let's see it. I want to see it. We didn't see him at all. Let's see it now.
They didn't even put his picture on ESPN. It's the shadow face. I was like, oh, my God. It's a shadow face. All right, Brandon, I'm going to have you throw option number 3. Who is our worst QB?
There's a layup, right? And I feel like there's a few layups, at least in my time of watching Jets football, which basically started around the Sanchez years. And, great time to get on board, right? Yeah, but
right.
For me, I'm nominating Bryce Petty. And I feel like that's one
That's a
lot of people forget. But this was in the era of like, okay, Sanchez isn't the guy. We're going to try every damn option on our roster. Let's try Bryce Petty. And if you guys had, and for whatever reason, this game has never left my mind. If you had the pleasure, or I guess the horror, of watching that Cardinals-Jets game when Bryce Petty started, they legitimately set offense back 30, 40 years. One of the worst football games I watched in my entire life. That game alone just earns him a spot on the list. And I loved Petty in college, which was funny. I was so excited he was on the Jets. I'm like, and this was before I was like really understanding that, hey, all quarterbacks don't translate from college to the NFL. I saw Petty light it up at Baylor. I'm like, all right, this guy's going to be a stud. Oh, the Jets got him in like the 5th round. Let's see how this goes. And I just immediately learned very quickly, oh, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't work like that. But Bryce Petty will always have a spot in my heart for being probably one of the worst, if not the worst, Jets quarterback I ever watched.
He'll always have a place in my heart for dog shit. I love that. I had to pull up the stats. 10 games played, 130 completions out of 245 attempts, so 53.1% completion, 1,353 yards, 10 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, 21 sacks, quarterback rating of 57.7. Ladies and gentlemen, let the PTSD suck it. I brought in some of our ROH, and I'm going to let Murph come up, and he's going to give us one of his. Yo, what up, Dan? Woo!
Yo, what's up, Murph?
Good. How are you?
You didn't have to show up me and Gunny, man.
Yeah, now I feel like I need to put a shirt on or a hoodie or something.
Dan is a different animal. He's a different animal.
There's no sleeves.
Stop flexing.
Okay?
Stop flexing.
I can't help it.
Traps are showing.
All right, Muscles. I mean, Dan, what is your quarterback, bro, for the worst? Who are you adding to the list, bro? You got someone different?
Are we still sticking at quarterbacks?
Yep.
Okay. Hackenberg was really good, but he didn't play, so it's hard to say. I mean, you never know. We could have started him, and he could have been like the next Peyton Manning.
He's so bullshit.
No, Petty was really, really bad too. Bryce Petty was awful, man. But I'm going to say, because even though it was a small tenure, Tim Boyle was probably the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life.
God.
I'm not talking about just Jets. I mean, okay, it's like that guy that played for the Bills was a Nathan Peterman or whatever, and Tim Boyle.
Yeah,
They're like neck and neck for the worst quarterback invented of all NFL history. Like, it's insane.
I don't know how Boyle even got a job in the NFL. His stats from college are horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an anomaly. He don't make no kind of sense. He was horrible in college. He's been horrible at the NFL level, but somehow, some way, he's been in the NFL now for 6 years as a backup quarterback, getting paid millions of dollars to be a backup quarterback in the NFL, and he's beyond trash. He's worse than trash. I think any of us here on this panel could literally play backup quarterback better than freaking Tim Boyle. That dude is not an NFL. He's not even. I wouldn't even call him a football player. I don't even know if you can call him a football player, let alone an NFL.
Should I pull up the stats?
Oh God!
I would take
you know what?
Jigga in his night costume playing backup quarterback over to Tim Boyle.
Right?
Why do I gotta be in the costume though? I mean, I would.
I just want to see
but
you. That's all.
here's
wanna
his
see you
career
in it.
stats. You guys ready for across the board? All right.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Passing career. Tim Boyle, 20 games played. He's got a 62.3 completion percentage, 934 yards, 5.1 yards average, 4 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, sacked 12 times, a 55.2 quarterback rating. The poll is in the chat. Who is QB1 for our team of worst quarterback? We're also going to then let you guys pick who's our backup quarterback. We got to be fair, all right? That's why Dan's here to give us an option. So right now, leading the charge, Hackenberg, holding strong at 75% of the vote. All right, we'll leave it up there. Dan, appreciate you, bro.
Later, Murph.
Later.
I love the Ring of Honor fan, bro. So tonight, my boys are the only ones that we gave access to for the Ring of Honor is coming in. It's the Discord group. These guys have been I mean, guys, literally since last season, building it in there, getting emojis set up so when we open it up for the Jets community that we all can be in there and have fun. So the ROH gets access to the open panel tonight to give us their takes. And let's be real, any show gets better when Dan brings his traps out. Yeah.
I want to put a hoodie. I want to put a hoodie on now since he's been on here.
And I would like to say again, Frankie coming in with the fire comments. All right, it's weird that no one has commented on Portal's fire T-shirt from the best era in Knicks history. I had to wear Knicks. I don't know.
I didn't even notice. Yep, I didn't even notice.
Listen,
And I didn't even care.
Oh,
And I just
wow.
ignored it.
Damn.
I just ignored it.
Wow.
Damn.
Relax, Abs. I know you're still mad about the whole Mark thing, but come on.
I mean, it's the Jets being bad, Mark Sanchez, the Suns getting swept, the Diamondbacks are up and down. None of my teams are
All right, so what we'll do is let's check it out. And actually, instead of doing two different polls for the quarterback, we'll just look at who came in first, who came in second. Makes it easier than redoing it, right? Real quick, guys, over 215 people in the chat. Appreciate everybody hanging out. The usual, smack the likey, hit the subby. If you're not following Abs on Instagram, you're an idiot. If you're not following Italy Jet on social media, on X and Instagram, you're an idiot. If you're not following Godney on Instagram, you're an idiot. And his YouTube channel, if you're not following, I think everybody gets it, right? Clear message?
Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot.
Hey, hold on. Someone came in and threw a Mark Sanchez vote.
Never let me find out who
Oh.
I
had
gotta look
it.
at Gunny.
Is
I will
Gunny or
block
is that
you.
someone in the chat?
I was like, wait, did Gunny just vote? All right, I'm gonna leave the vote up a couple times.
Man.
So, Brandon, I want to ask you guys for because you guys gave your answer. So I want you to vote real quick. Abs, not because it was your answer. Would you make yours the very first one, or based on the whole group of four that we have? Who are you going with?
I would still go with mine.
Okay,
I
Italy.
think I'm confident in it.
Yeah, I would either go with Hackenberg. He's not even in there. Me and Johnny Boy are on the same page in the chat. Tebow.
Oh, Brandon.
You see, if we're talking like on field, I think it's Petty, but I think the Hackenberg one has to be it simply because,
Right.
simply because that pick basically prevented them from not going after Mahomes the year after. And the fact that
Double whammy.
the fact that Christian Hackenberg was picked in the second round, and then McCagnon used that as a reasoning to not pick Patrick Mahomes the year after, when the Jets could have had him without trading up.
That's nasty work.
It
Brandon.
doesn't get worse than that, guys.
The
Doesn't get
best
worse
part
than
is
that.
look at
That hurt,
Patrick
Brandon.
Mahomes now,
That hurt.
and Christian Hackenberg is
You
a
need to
high
go to the
school
bathroom
assistant.
Oh, God.
Mm.
All right, we're closing the quarterback. In first place, our starting quarterback is Christian Hackenberg for the win. Ladies and gentlemen,
Boom.
coming in at quarterback 2 for our horrible team is Tim
Tim.
freaking Boyle.
We are winning.
Listen,
Great
we
start.
are not gonna
Great
we are
start.
not gonna play this Madden game. That shit is being simulated,
No,
okay?
no.
Because
Oh,
it's
God.
gonna be murder. All right, cool. All right, let's go to our next one. And Ring of Honor people, we'll let them check in. And if Dan comes back, we'll let Dan come up for another one. All right, we are gonna start with running backs. What are the worst running backs making this roster?
Oh, boy.
Oh man, listen, I think this is like a mood stabilizer. I'm so happy about my Knicks, but the more we talk about this shit, I'm coming down. I'm like, wow, especially after the Patrick Mahomes moment. Brandon, you asked. Italy, you want to start, bro? Who's your running back?
I mean, I think me and Abby might have been on the same page with this, right?
We were.
Okay, so I worked with Alzheimer's and dementia unit, and I was in the kitchen. My cook, he is a huge Jets fan. Wanted this guy so bad. Me and him back and forth. We want him really bad. Comes here. What does he do? He's in the Gase era. Yes, I'm talking about Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon frickin' Bell. You want to know the upside, what he had with the Steelers from a legend to us, or dreams go to die? Yeah, that year, that was the dreams go to die year. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So that's my pick, Le'Veon Bell.
Whew. And Abs, you had Le'Veon too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was just in like Jets news again because he was tweeting
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Adam Gase recently. So he's still
Yeah.
traumatized.
Yeah,
So
he's
are
still
we.
traumatized too,
And
just
that's
like
what
we
I was,
are.
that's what I was about to say, right? Like, that's why I think I take a little bit off of Le'Veon, right? Like, I
I
feel
get
like
it.
we didn't
But-
give him the situation. I mean, guys, we all remember the eyes of this man. Okay, he came to play for this guy right here. Okay, and that did not work out in any shape or form. Great pick with Le'Veon Bell. Frank, hard to blame Bell for the Gase offense.
I get it, but still.
We can't even use the word offense with Gase. It's not even an offense. Gunny, running back. Who are you starting?
Yeah, so I definitely had Le'Veon Bell as my honorable mention because just disgusting. Let's be honest. That was a complete
Hard.
waste of assets and money. Like we lost a lot of money bringing that bum
100%.
on the team. But not for me, man. I went with Blair Thomas, man. Second overall pick. I think it was the 1990 draft. Talk about a waste of an asset. Second overall pick, Blair Thomas. I mean, if it wasn't the injuries, it was just the fact that he couldn't find a hole to save his freaking life. This dude was just a shell of what he had showed at the college level. And the Jets wasted the second overall pick on him. Whenever you go back in Jets history and you're talking about some of the worst decisions made, you can't really not look at that in the running back position and not think, damn, we got that one massively wrong. So for me, it was Blair Thomas, man. But Le'Veon Bell was definitely right there as well in terms of how much we paid the dude, the hype level, how excited we all were as a fan base to bring him on board just to get slapped in the face with mediocrity. So, yeah, Blair Thomas. But again, I'll probably vote for Le'Veon Bell because that one still stings a little bit to this day since it's so recent in our Jets tenure as fans.
And he's a Jets fan. I don't know if anyone knew that, but he was a Jets fan. He was excited to come.
Yeah, but he was.
That was even worse.
Too.
I'm not gonna lie, I have some of his songs downloaded on Apple Music.
She just remembered right now. So before I throw to you, Brandon, since we're on Blair's house, 1990, 15 games played, 123 carries, 620 yards, 1 touchdown. 91, 16 games played, 189 carries, 728 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a fumble. 92, let's just go with the 440 yards on 97 carries, 2 fumbles, and 0 touchdowns. Should I keep going? Because it's just garbage, bro. Garbage. Number 2 overall pick. I don't know how you beat that one. I don't know. Brandon, go ahead, bro.
I mean, I think I have an argument because for me,
Uh-oh.
look, maybe not production wise. Frank Gore is the worst running back I have seen play for the New York Jets. We are talking end of career, washed up, running to the back of the offensive lineman every damn play for 2 yards.
Yeah.
Frank Gore, who the Jets just decided to give more and more and more carries to week after week after week under Adam Gase. The Le'Veon Bell's talking about it. That was Frank Gore's favorite play. Second and long, HB dive. Oh, got to set up the third and short, third and manageable. But I will always, like Bryce Petty, have a spot for Frank Gore for the way that he helped cost the Jets Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, there's a common recurring theme here, right? Jets can't lose when they're supposed to. No, but in all seriousness, that game against the Rams, coming down from the high of the Raiders winning at the buzzer because Greg Williams sends the house for whatever reason, and Henry Ruggs, who then I'll leave the Henry Ruggs discourse there, has the touchdown. It's gonna make it.
I'll be honest about
him going fast, but we're gonna leave that there.
Bro, I'll be honest. I hadn't even thought about Frank Gore in a while. Like you just saying it, I'm like, wow, that 2020 season,
that game against the eventual Super Bowl winning champ, Los Angeles Rams. The fact that the Jets beat them, and I'll never forget Adam Gase's smug face after the game, while the hearts of every Jets fan is just crushed because everybody knows that they lost out on the quarterback prospect everyone thought was going to be basically the savior of the franchise. And then, of course, they beat Cleveland the next week because Cleveland loses their entire team to COVID, but I digress.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I think Dan came back. Dan, you have a running back for me? Give me a thumbs up, bro. Yeah, he wants to come back. Dan. Trash.
Now he's flexing. Now you really
Look
flexing.
at
I
look
got
at him.
the shoulder.
Look at him lean into the camera. I see he's leaning into the camera.
Jesus. It's a shame my winter coats don't have sleeves either, though. I actually got one where like you can actually dig deep because the first guy that popped up in my head, I was with Brandon. I was like, man, those Frank Gore runs up the middle for 2 yards every time was so rough to watch. But then I remembered how he won us a game. Yeah, Frank Gore. Yeah, the one game he actually showed a little pop. He fucked us out of Trevor Lawrence. Anyway, so the one guy that I wanted to mention, because you could bring up a lot of guys that we had like very small stints with. You remember CJ Spiller was on our team for a minute?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hot second.
And then there was like Zach Stacy.
Zach Stacy.
What was that other guy? Stephen Ridley.
And it's funny, it's funny, Murph, like you
Yeah.
say names like that, and you can only think of maybe one time that they had like that one run that maybe helped in one game, and then you're like, oh yeah, but that was it. They were dog shit.
Yeah.
Like I
So
can picture
wasn't-
CJ Spiller
I
breaking
thought-
one run as a tank and nothing else ever again.
I
Sorry,
thought
go
about
ahead,
going
Murph.
Stephen Ridley, but I was like, we didn't see enough of him. I'm gonna tell you, the least talented running back I think I've ever seen put on a Jets uniform was Elijah McGuire. I think he was hot garbage, man. I have no idea. And he had probably 20 starts under his belt, man. He was bad. And not
Forgot about that bum.
way.
Oh yeah.
You see, you bring up
Elijah
names. I'm like,
McGuire.
all right, we got to pull up stats, man.
Man.
Like, just
I love it.
let me grab it. His stats with the Jets. Jeez, you always forget this stuff. 180 carries, 591 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 fumbles. Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the poll is up.
How many starts was it?
Games played 24.
24.
Yeah.
We let him suit up 24 fucking times for our team. Come on, guys. You might as well throw a helmet at me. Come on.
88 carries, 92.
God.
Oh, man. All right. The poll is in there, guys. We got Le'Veon Bell as option. Blair Thomas, Frank Gore, Elijah McGuire. Who will be running back number 1 and running back 2 for our horrible PTSD? Worst Jets team ever. I'll be honest. After all this
that
conversation,
Frank Gore one.
they're all good.
Yeah, that hurt.
That Frank Gore
That
one
hurt.
hurt.
The Frank one hurt.
Like
a
Brandon
lot.
had me change my mind about who I wanted. But that
I
Frank Gore
voted
one.
for Frank Gore in the chat.
I apologize. Truly.
Like
Truly.
I think I like compressed the memory of Frank Gore ever having been a
Yeah.
Jet. But the moment you said it, I immediately like, oh yeah, that's right. He was a Jet in pure disgust. And then
And then he replayed the whole scenario, which made it even worse, right? We were like,
Yeah.
oh,
I was like, oh, that's
Well,
right.
you don't
That's
want
the
to think
bomb.
of him as bad though, because like he was a good guy, like he's a good
Yeah.
Jet on the
Good
team.
guy.
Like, he
A
was always
legend
saying
overall,
right
yeah.
things and stuff.
Yeah.
He was a
real
good
quick,
leader.
hold on, guys. I remember earlier, and I just wanted to say it. Bonesy, bro, I heard, dude, I saw it on Jake's show earlier, bro. I hope you and the kids feel better. I heard you guys are like rocking 102 plus fever. My guy,
Oh.
feel better.
Oh,
The
feel
fact that
better.
even in the
Yeah,
feel
chat
better,
is
man.
crazy.
Yeah, get
All
better.
right.
brother.
Don't feel like you got to sit here and hang out. But if it's like chicken noodle soup, we love you. We love you. Love you so much. Why did
Tomato
you never
soup.
do it when you wanted to? You know the.
I don't know if
you know,
mine's does mine does it?
Mine does it. I think it's shut off though because it's on Chrome.
But the shit is, anytime I want to like do it, it takes forever, right? But when you don't want to, balloons pop out of nowhere, confetti comes down.
Yeah, nah, this is a work for mine.
I got the green screen.
Yeah,
All right, let's see where we're at right now. Leading the vote, Brandon. I gotta tell you, bro, you convinced the chat, okay? Because we are sitting at Frank Gore holding that first place solid. I'll leave that one up for a couple more seconds. Let's check in with the chat. And Frank Gore was so bad for us that it carried over to Frank Gore. Yo, wait, didn't? Holy shit! It just now that we're talking, didn't he fight Le'Veon? Didn't they do a boxing thing? It was Frank Gore and him, right?
Yeah.
No, wait, was it?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was.
Yeah,
Just-
Frank Gore
I
knocked
lost
his ass
someone
out.
No, Bell won.
Yo, we break
Bell
people
win?
when they play
Yeah,
for
Oh,
us.
yeah,
Bell won.
convincingly.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
Bell's got hands,
Oh,
dude. I didn't
my
realize
God.
either. I thought Gore would take him.
I totally forgot about it.
The fact that we're laughing at our pain right now is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep
Okay,
tonight after all
I
this.
promise you, there's a way to bring it all back together to where we end
Disrepairable.
happy. Okay, I think. All right, and in the poll, I'm running backs. First place running back, ladies and gentlemen. We did not have him banned or on our bingo card. Running back number 1, Frank Gore. And running back number 2, Le'Veon Bell. Man, go ahead. Let's all celebrate. Great. Listen, guys, we are a solid shitstorm. Hackenberg, Boyle, Gore, and Bell. Whoa.
Looking like how it was last season.
Does anyone remember Chris Johnson playing for us? That's
Yes.
a shit.
Yeah.
show.
I remember
I was
Chris.
going to mention him.
I
I
almost
was
did. He was my second guy.
He had a little pop though.
Yeah, he
That's
still
what
has
I'm
a little
saying.
pop
washed,
left.
but he wasn't fully washed yet.
Yeah, and I remember when he was that year Madden came out, he won me a lot of games. So I forgive CJ2K. All right. Dan, I'll bring you back up, bro.
Let me just say real quick, I was going through like the running backs. We've had some really good ones in the past, like
We have.
Yeah.
and that's
Ivory.
when it was like I was on like a Reddit thread and it was like the strength of the running back room just in Jets history is a lot of names on there. So we
Yeah,
are kind of winning at something. Obviously, we got Brees Hall now, so
Well, I know exactly like that Reddit feed you're talking about. There was one comment I remember seeing on it, and the guy said the Jets never had all the right pieces at the same time. If you can go and pick from each different season, the Jets have always made good moves that never worked at the same time when another good move worked out. Because let's be real, we've pulled off some horrible free agency busts, horrible trades. I mean, don't even get me started on Tremaine Johnson conversation. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is horrible.
I thought we were doing defense tonight.
No, we're doing defense next week. I know, but the PTSD is strong with him. Oh shit! Someone wide receivers. Who's making the team? I had to put Elijah Moore in there, you punk ass motherfucker. All right, I'm starting with Gunny. Where we going, wide receiver, bro?
Wide receivers, huh? All right, let me see here. Well, I think really it boils down to just one person. I don't really. I mean, when I think of some of the worst wide receiver play I think we've ever had. I know some people will probably say guys like Denzel Mims. Don't let Green Bean hear you say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me,
for real,
it's Stephen Hill, man. I think Stephen Hill was an absolutely disgusting human being in terms of what we got. I think we were really, really excited. This bum was a high draft pick who struggled literally with everything that has to do with receiving, catching the ball. He couldn't catch it. He struggled with drops. He was supposed to be this awesome deep threat with that 4.3, 2 speed, something like that. Big bodied guy. We thought we had ourselves the mini Megatron. A lot of people were calling him. We were wrong. He was a bum. In all actuality, he was so ass. Like I said before, I don't know if we can even consider him a wide receiver. He was trash, man. Stephen Hill to this day disgusts me. Again, another individual that I was hyped about, I was excited about because you love the combination of size and speed. And you saw him do damage. Like, okay, in college, he knew how to catch a football. He knew how to play football. At the next level, I might as well have had my 9-year-old son out there trying to figure it out. So, yeah, I got to say Stephen Hill, a disgusting disappointment in terms of
dude, bro. It's a great pick. I mean, think about it. 2 seasons, 594 total yards, 4 touchdowns.
One of the highest drop rates in the league.
He even made sure to throw a couple fumbles in there for us just to make sure he sprinkled it evenly across the shitstorm. Gunny, that is a great pick. And also, good Lord, I don't miss you ever, Mr. Hill.
Stephen Hill.
Brandon, come on. Let's go Brandon on this second choice. All right, Brandon, who's number 2?
You know what's funny is I was going to say Stephen Hill too, because I've met hearing the words mini Megatron triggered something that I haven't felt in like a decade.
Me too, bro.
I was so excited about him when they drafted him. But I think for me, the modern version of that I fully remember. I fully remember both, but would be Denzel Mims. And it's not even the sense of like, oh, he was just bad. Because the Jets have drafted bad receivers before. You could run down the list. Deontay Burnett and Artavius Stewart and just these different players that they've drafted where it's like, oh, this is going to be a guy I know he isn't. Mims was a beast in college. He was a really good player. Yeah. He was exactly what this team needed. Deep threat down the field, making these leaping catches. And you're thinking in your head, Darnold is going to thrive with him. And it just didn't happen after the rookie year. I don't know if he couldn't latch on to the new scheme, if he just couldn't master the nuances of being a wide receiver, whether it be the route running or creating separation, but it just never clicked. And I think the most frustrating part and why I say Denzel Mims is because the potential was there. He always showed the potential. And it's
we
one
all
of
were
those
sold on it. We kept getting sold on it. We'd go
And
into
it's
season
also-
like, he can do it. And then
Exactly. And it's also the fact that wide receiver class was also loaded in that draft.
I think it's a Mimstery. Nailed it, Frankie. First of all, Brandon, do you see all the names that everybody's dropping in the chat when it comes to receivers?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I saw
my
Chad
God.
Henson and Devin
Yeah,
Smith,
dude,
and my
that's the
stomach
one. I
started
was like,
hurting.
oh.
Think of all the receivers they've missed on. It's so many. It is so many.
It's
God.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Listen, I should have been better prepared for this. You know, I should have had like a button that I hit. So when we go through this moment right here, we just have Garrett Wilson in his MC Hammer outfit from this weekend to be reminded what we have now, you know, because these names are freaking killing me. Add Denzel Mims to the list. Abs, where you going? Where you going?
A very generalized answer for this, and it includes a lot of names. But I went with any wide receiver the Jets have selected in the second round. So that is Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Devin Smith, Stephen Hill. The list goes on. So they have not had success whatsoever when it comes to drafting a wide receiver and developing them when they're in the they draft them from the second round. So I think
So glad they
that
got
sums up
Corley
all
in the
the
third.
names. Yeah, I think that sums up all the names that people have thrown in the chat.
Well, I love it. So we're not going. We'll go ahead and we'll pick one from the Abs. We'll go with the Elijah Moore one since he made the graphic because she's so right. And then I asked Bonesy in the chat since he's sick and can't come up on the panel. He still gets to give us a name, and Bonesy threw it. He went with Devin Smith. He's adding Devin to the list. Let's look up Devin Smith's stats.
I think Devin Smith was more of a victim of injuries than
Yeah. He couldn't stay healthy to save his life.
Yeah,
Right.
I think he would have been a good player if he stayed healthy. He had all the talent and he showed it in flat. He just couldn't stay on the field.
Yeah, because I'm waiting for the pull. When he left us, he went where? He got picked up again. It wasn't like we were the last stop, right?
I think was it Arizona? I want to say it was Arizona that picked him up again.
Here we go. Let's see. All right, so 15 and 16 was with us. Total of 14 games played, 10 receptions. Oh my gosh, 200 yards. One touchdown. No, one touchdown. My apologies. One touchdown. And it was 135 yards. That was his Jets career. Then he went to Dallas, played 4 games. He had 5 receptions and mad yards, 113. One touchdown. Yeah, so it never worked out. And he got injured again after he was with us, 2019. And then he got picked up by Jacksonville. Jeez, Bonesy, you know how to pick them, bro. Abs, you nailed it. Can we just say we have every wide receiver is anybody in the second round? All right, poll is up. Here's our options. And then we're going to move over to tight ends. Stephen Hill, Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore. You know what, guys? We might not even have to take a vote. That could be our starting 4 right there. We go. We got 4. I didn't bother asking Italy.
You're right.
Oh my
They're all
God.
bums.
Yeah,
Dude,
they're all
like
bums.
Ab said, every second round wide receiver we can think of.
Oh, this
I
team just
literally
took
was
a
staring at the
shit.
chat and like trying to vote, and I was like, "Who do I pick? Who do I pick?" The mouse is just hovering.
All right, but we'll leave the vote just to see. All right, so we know that number 1 for sure at a whopping 80% is Stephen Hill. So he will be receiver number 1. Denzel Mims coming in strong at number 2. Elijah Moore, no one even wants to click on their names. Elijah Moore got one. Elijah Moore is wide receiver 3. And wrapping it up, Smith. Oh my
Hill,
gosh.
Mims, Moore, Smith.
A hybrid of trash.
Oh, this is the worst.
We're starting
know what
a
we should
Jets
add?
compost.
I just thought about it. Gunny and guys, team, next week when we do our defense, we should also focus on who our front office is going to be and our coach. Because we need so many leads.
Adam
Oh,
Gase,
But
without
Oh,
question,
no.
is
Oh,
going to be the
no.
head
And
coach.
McCagnon. And
I can tell
McCagnon.
you.
Just put him right there.
Oh, Oh, Dan said, that was another one. Big body.
Ooh, Rashard
Rashard
Perriman,
nothing.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Huge disappointment.
I'll go with my pick, Chris Hogan.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think he reaches the level of some of the other ones. I really don't.
Honorable mention.
You know, it's like when you sit here and we go through these receivers, and then you think of somebody with the big body that we were sold on, really happy about, like Quincy Enunwa. If it wasn't for injuries, like that would have been someone that truly was like everything we needed. You know, I loved that man, you know?
I think about him daily. What could have been?
What could have been. Yep.
Oh,
And he's a good dude too. That on top of it, he's a really good dude.
yeah, he does great stuff with the Jets content for us too, which is awesome. All right, VR said, Isaac, I win. That was simple. All right, let's do tight ends. Tight ends. We're going tight ends. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm actually gonna let Italy, because you didn't get to give us really one. You gave us Chris, but let's go with tight end, bro. Where are you? Who do you want leading the charge for worst tight ends?
I mean, is it even a competition with this Kyle Brady? For me, I wanted Warren Sapp when I was. I listen. I wasn't even alive for that draft. I wasn't even mentioned. But like, I love Warren Sapp. That's who if you're gonna change the tide of first round draft picks, that's what it would be for me, Warren Sapp. But no, we had to go get Kyle Brady, a second, third string tight end. No, and he didn't even do good for us. He had a good career down the line, but he didn't even do good for us. It's Kyle Brady.
I was watching highlights of that, and the chants were loud.
It was bad. It was awful.
And I forgot who we drafted, and it's the oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The whole stands. Boo.
Good times.
Oh my gosh. All right. Yo, that was a great one. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Gunny. Where you going for tight end, bro?
I can't believe it's Jason Morrow. Jason Morrow is one of the most disgusting excuses of a freaking draft pick that the New York Jets have ever made. And again, another individual who had us excited and believing in what he could achieve. Jason Morrow. I mean, again, oh my God, I can't. I'm getting pissed. All right.
Okay. Get some
cool.
acid reflux.
My plan is working.
Listen,
Jason Morrow on the
he had I think the rookie season kind of gave us all hope as to what he could potentially be, right? And then just the disappearance. I can't even say it was falling off of a cliff. The man just disappeared. It's as if he was kidnapped in terms of his ability to play football and just gone. Jason Morrow, to me, I described it in our chat as a paperback bitch. The guy couldn't stay healthy to save his freaking life. Man, the injuries, the inconsistency, Jason Morrow to me was such a disappointment. Y'all saw the text when we were talking about it. It pisses me off to even mention it now. But yeah, if it's Jason Morrow, it's not even a question. The guy showed the ability to go ahead and play football at the collegiate level. He looked like he was going to be our version of a Rob Gronkowski. We were really pumped about this kid. And he shows up just to give us a taste of it in his rookie season and disappear after that. Straight freaking bum. It's Jason Morrow for me.
Hey, Abs, guess what round he was drafted in?
The second.
You already know.
Ready for this? Here we go. 14 games played, 38 receptions, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a fumble. Jason Morrow.
Off the charts.
You're shitty. You're shitty. Tight end Jets career. Thank you for your service, sir.
Didn't he fall out of the NFL completely? He ended after 3 or 4 years?
No one picked him up. Yeah, no one picked him up in 15, and he didn't get picked up again till 16, and he got picked up for 3 games by Tennessee and never came back.
3 games. Fucking bum.
3 games.
Absolute bum.
Injured again. All right. Brady tomorrow making the cut. Abs, do you have a different name to add to the list? And I see our boy Johnny is backstage. He's ready to drop on tight. Oh, that boy hit the button. He said, bam, I'm ready for tight ends. Abs, give me your tight end. Then we're going to go to Johnny and Brandon.
First of all, let me just say real quick, this whole conversation might make the Brock Bowers boys mad because they're still around. I don't know why. They were in my TikTok live the other day. Go away. It's over. It's done with.
Hey, Brett threw an option in there for us tonight. He said tight end Tim Tebow. Good Lord. Jeez, we did use him as a tight end. Go ahead,
Let's
Abs.
I actually was with Italy Jet, and then I threw out another name for the sake of throwing out another name. And I went with the bum himself, CJ Uzama, who we just got a little taste of. But 29 receptions, 290 yards, 3 TDs. There you go. A whole lot of nothing.
Ooh.
And
And it's like that
penalties,
one's
I might add.
oh, and that one's so like recent. So it's like you're
Yeah,
still
that's
the
fresh.
wounds aren't closed, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
fresh.
there. Oh man, I didn't think
You
you
can tell-
anyone was gonna throw
You
a
can tell
CJ
Ab still
out
got
there.
the stitches. They haven't freaking completely healed yet. She's upset.
You know what, Brandon? You want to throw one out?
Yeah, so
Alright.
I'm glad that I had my own treatment turned back upon me because I completely flushed Jace Morrow out of my brain. Completely forgot about him, and I think he was the first player I remember having the Baby Gronk label put onto him.
Yep, 100%.
And I was very excited to get him. Then he just kind of fizzled out. I have 2: Kellen Winslow Jr. and Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Oh, Austin, that bum. Oh,
Safarian Jenkins is more so because he is
So bad.
the epitome of, he had all this
Okay,
potential.
hold on. I'm sorry, Brandon, because you didn't see what. I'm guessing. Hold on, Johnny, was that your pick?
Yeah, it was fucking Kellen Winslow because of the sticky situation.
Yeah. I'm
You
sorry.
said it, and Johnny was like, "Oh, damn.
I'm
Oh."
sorry. No, but like Kellen Winslow Jr., like, look, we could have an entire episode just centered around him and his escapades, as I would put it. Safarian Jenkins just pissing me off because of the Patriots game, and he just didn't capitalize on his opportunity. But tight end, a weirdly deep position for bad players in Jets history.
wait, hold on. But I've heard Kellen Winslow Jr. I saw it in the chat too. He played well for us in the 13 something games that he did. Right? I don't
Did
remember.
he?
I remember seeing him making plays again. Maybe it's just
Yeah, with his
Again,
hands.
I think it's one
And
of those
how
ones you have
bad
one
it's
or two
been.
remember, right?
That's what he's
Maybe-
remembered for. He's
Is
not
what?
remembered for being a Jet. He's remembered for being arrested with his
For
hands in his
14-year
pants.
sentence.
All right,
Yeah.
I
that's
recall that.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I thought I thought you were referring to the other Kellen Winslow situation.
Which
the fact
one?
that there's the multiple ones. Wasn't there a nursing home one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, there's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff.
There's
Yeah.
a long list, Brandon.
Oh
Long
man.
list.
Hey,
That's
So,
a-
yeah,
that's
he
a
When
was
weird-
it comes to
That's
Kellen
fine.
Winslow, we're talking about off the field. Then is what why he was one of the bad ones. Got it. I can't argue that.
You know
Can't
what? I
argue
do want to look at his stats.
I
I'm
win.
Curious.
You guys be good.
that. Later, Johnny.
Later, bro. He said, "I win." All right, we gotta look it up. Let's look up Kellen Winslow's stats when he was with us. 12 games played, 2013 season. Man, it felt like he was longer than one season. It was just one season. It was 31 receptions, 388 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's his Jets career.
But he was a big play guy, right? Was that like how many? It's like 12 yards average, I guess. 12 yards per catch. It sounds like
12.5. Yep.
12.5.
Yep. 12.5.
Let's sneeze at. How many targets?
Targets 47.
Okay, yeah, like
That's what, yeah. But again, it just didn't flash after that. He was done.
yeah. I mean, doing the stuff off the field definitely doesn't help your situation and getting the
No,
second
not at
contract. So
all.
I guess
All right, I'm putting it up in the chat. So we got Brady, we got Amaro, we got Uzama, and we went with Winslow. Oh, I forgot one. Who was the other one? Jenkins.
Safarian Jenkins.
Yeah.
All right, he's not on the poll. If you want Safarian, put in the chat so we know. Let's see how this one plays out. Guys, is this working as planned? Are we all feeling so excited?
I'm disgusted. Once we are done here, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot and get in the shower again.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
excited
what
to go watch the Mets win. I'm excited to go watch the Mets
Fighting
win.
words.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. It's always good to see you, bro. And we'll move on to the Yankees talk. Oh, shit, I moved everybody around. Move it. All right, so we'll let everybody get that vote in real quick, guys. We got over 250 rocking with us, hanging out on a Wednesday night. Can somebody tell me if the Knicks already drafted? If so, who did they grab? How we feeling, guys? We good? We ready for one more?
Yeah.
We got O lineman, right? So
Got one more in me.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear people say women listen and men don't, it's true. It's true because I put in the group text, hey, give me an entire O-line unit. That we'll just do it that way to make it easy. All the guys, individual players. Abby, one unit.
Yeah. My bad.
I literally
My
said
bad.
a year, and I was like, not doing any more work than that.
But here's the best part. I obviously don't listen either because I didn't say shit when you guys sent it to me. I was like, great, thanks, good job.
Right.
So
Gunny's first message was a novel. I was like, but I stopped after the Mark Sanchez for the first time.
Yeah, she got
and then
upset.
I
She was like,
reread it.
"You missed
Mine
me
was
at
just
freaking Mark
organized.
Sanchez."
Mine was just organized.
All right, let's end the poll for the tight ends. Let's go through who are the winners for our tight end position. We'll jump into O-line. Tight end. Our starting tight end is no other than Chase Amaro. We all are on the same page.
Yeah.
Coming in at second, Mr. Prison himself. Winslow is holding it
Prison
down.
himself.
Mr. Paperback.
And then in third, do we want to? We only need two tight ends.
Yeah, we only
we
need
can't. Yeah, our roster doesn't want Brady on there. Screw that. All right. So before we go to the O line, we should do the recap now, or let's go ahead and do the O line, then we'll recap what we got.
O-line
Yeah,
and
do
recap.
Okay.
All right. What'd you say?
What
Ab?
I say goes. You're already
What'd you
wrong,
say?
Gunny.
What'd
Yep.
you say?
I'm
I was
with Abs.
scared.
I'm with Abs. Whatever she
Do
says,
the
that goes. I'm with
O-line
her.
and then recap.
Okay. All right. I was like, she said that shit with gusto. Let me the O line. Here we go. Look at the graphic. I think I had no choice, guys. I had no choice. I had to put him on there. So I'm actually going to go right to you, Mr. Gunny. Give me your O lineman, sir.
Listen, I didn't follow instructions. I'm just now realizing that you
It's
said
okay,
the whole
but you
unit.
can-
But for me, this one was specifically upsetting, right? So this guy, I really kind of got a drawing to when we drafted him. I was really excited. He and I share the same birthplace. We were both born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I thought he was going to go ahead and represent the fellow Haitians, that the few Haitians that play in the NFL. But this big, ugly motherfucker was just a waste of space. Vladimir Ducasi.
That's
I don't
nice, Gunny.
I don't know how else to explain disappointment. This bitch, I mean, technique wise was a joke. He was a very sloppy individual. Yeah, strong as all hell, but it was worthless because he couldn't hold on or engage with any of his blocks. He got pushed around like a baby back bitch. In all actuality, you've seen more JV offensive linemen on a high school football team have more technique than this guy. So I don't know what happened from college to the NFL level, but it almost seems as if he was stronger than most of his college opponents. And then we thought to ourselves, this guy's a mauler. He's going to be a beast at the next level. And he fell off the face of the earth. So for me, Vladimir Ducasi, man, that bum not only embarrassed the New York Jets, but embarrassed my people. And for that, I will forever hate his guts. And he belongs on this shit roster because he was a shit offensive lineman.
I have to back you up 100%. And Brett made it very clear. Oh my God, Vlad was
ass
with a capital S.
Yeah, he was so bad, man.
Ducasi. All right.
So bad.
Let's go over to Brandon. Brandon, who you got for us, bro?
Side note about Ducasi, I've been thinking when you first sent this, I was thinking about Ducasi and I couldn't remember Ducasi's name. But yeah, that's a perfect one. For me, a more recent one, Laken Tomlinson. It's more so the expectations that came with signing him.
Yeah.
Where it's like, was he, what do you call it, the worst offensive lineman in the league necessarily? No. He played every game, but the Jets signed him after he was coming off a Pro Bowl year, a really good year, developing into one of the better guards in football. And then he gets to New York and just falls off a cliff. And that played I feel like a huge role in their offensive line, having to shift it all around, played a huge role in, some of their offensive woes. Definitely one of the worst, more recent offensive linemen. Then my other one is Greg Van Roden, who ironically has turned into a decent pass blocker and decent offensive lineman outside of New York. Yeah. But when he was in New York, he was like Mr. Turnstile. It was brutal. It was one of the worst offensive linemen I watched. And guess what? That probably had a lot to do with the type of offense the Jets were running at the time and the play calling and the scheme, but still doesn't take away from the fact that he wasn't good here.
Garbage.
Listen, I mean, you
That's a
gave
good one.
2 names that just fit right next to Gunny. Holy shit, this is an ass O-line, boy.
Yeah.
I don't think we could build anything worse. Anyway, you got another name to throw on this O-line?
I mean, you talk about this guy following his fearless leader from Green Bay, Mr. Billy Turner.
Oh,
Oh,
I forgot about that
Turner.
I had to, man.
Oh.
You talk about just the signing just to get Rodgers here. That's
Ah,
it.
God.
Oh,
My fearless
my
leader. I'll
God.
come. Let's go. So there you go.
Jeez.
Billy freaking Turner. And to just, follow the assignment on the worst offensive line in the years 2019.
Ooh, can't argue. That was a tough one. Abs, I forgot. What did you give me for your answer?
The 2023 Jets offensive line, 13 different combinations. To be honest, we all didn't know who Xavier Newman was when he came in. And that
She's
first
not-
snap
she's not
was
wrong.
terrible.
She's not wrong.
Guys, we don't even have to do a poll because let me just recap our O-line because of Abs filling in. But you guys came with the individuals. We got Ducasi, Lakia Tomlinson, Van Ryan, Billy Turnstile Turner, and any of the shit you want from 23. Oh my God. Christian Hackenberg, you're going to still end this Madden game with 0 freaking stats. I want this game to be negative yards and we lose 1,000,000 points. All right, you ready for the recap? Oh, hold on
Let's
a
do
second.
it.
Hold on. We got to call it backstage. Let's bring him up. It's our boy, Theo, Uncle VR.
What's up, Unc? How you doing,
What's
bruh?
going on? What's going on?
VR.
Yo, Dwayne Brown, man. I got to put that in there too
Oh.
because that old motherfucker. Sorry, is this a family show or?
Yeah, you know my show, man. You know you good.
You good.
Say
Man.
my,
We're talking about the
walk
Jets.
my walk here with Dwayne Brown, that AARP motherfucker. Like, just add him on to all the other ones that you just put on there. I had to come on and just say that real quick. And let me just say, you guys are doing such a great job, man. I love hearing all of your takes. All of the different choices are spot on, and I mean, like, I'm just really enjoying it. So I had to come on and represent real quick.
Appreciate
I love
we
the
appreciate
hat.
you,
You know
Unc.
you are a guy, bro.
And I'm wearing the shirt. He is the opposite of the bad offensive line. I'm wearing the Nick Mango barbecue. I'm probably not like turned around, but yeah, that's my dude right here. So like memories of that we haven't had for a long time on our offensive line. Hopefully this year is going to be a different situation.
So guys, really quick. I want to see because it wasn't loading earlier, but I want to try something real quick. Give me 1 second. And actually, Dan, I'm bringing him up for a second. VR, stay backstage. I'm bringing you back in a second, okay? Murph, I saw that you said you had a name you want to drop for O-line. Go ahead and drop that. I want to pull something up for everybody. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, well, after Mangold, man, we really struggled at center. Spencer Long was god awful, man. He couldn't even snap the damn ball. It was bad.
Oh.
I don't know what they were thinking back then. We go from like potential Hall of Famer and Nick Mangold to that. I can't deal with that.
Dan, I love that jacket, bro. I
Yeah.
love that jacket. Nice.
That's a nice jacket. Go
put
ahead and
sleeves
let's
on.
floss that real quick.
Isn't
Floss
that-
that real quick.
Oh,
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
That
Oh,
is
is that-
nice.
Is that the one? What's his name?
Yes, it's the
Forgetting.
Method Man one.
Method Man? The Method
one.
Man
There you
one,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that from, Murph?
I'll DM you.
Please do.
Took a while to come in, but I got it.
Yeah, bro, because
Okay.
like you can't find those anywhere. So I
Yeah,
appreciate. I'll be
anywhere.
looking out for that DM.
Murph, bro, appreciate you. Love you. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Yeah.
All right, VR. Is VR still backstage? VR. Yes, he is. All right, so I'll bring VR up a second. Shout out. What up, Todd? Saw you checking in the chat. Appreciate you. Guys, still over 250 rocking with us. Listen, I thought we were just a bunch of weirdos. We got 250 fellow weirdos
250.
hanging
There's
out.
otherwise.
Smack the likey, hit the subscribe, all that good stuff. But before we recap our team, I want to shout out our boy VR. So VR, My man dropped a little Jets anthem this week on the YouTubes. He put a little song out there for the peoples. And I just remembered, bro, I tried getting the link that you sent me through the drive. That didn't download. So I'm just going to grab it from YouTube. I'm going to play it if that's cool with you so everybody can check it out.
No doubt. Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's rock with VR right quick. Let me make sure, ladies and gentlemen, I hit the right button. Oh, my God. Where are you, button? Oh, look at this man got his graphic on there too. You sexy little son of a bitch. Here we
That's
go.
clean.
Here we go.
This is for all New York, all New Jersey, all Jets fans all around the world. We're about to take off. We're about to take flight. Take your seatbelts off and stand in a loud and proud position. We are the New York Jets. We are the team to beat. We are the New York Jets, and we're bringing that heat. We are the New York Jets, putting that on repeat. We are the New York Jets. We back up in the streets. Yeah, we are the New York Jets. Every other team just ain't a good bet. Flying high in the sky as the clouds pass by. And baby, this is our year, so others don't even try. From the polo ground to the stadium shade and the Meadowlands to MetLife where we play today. Just another Sunday, this is where we begin. Just another Sunday with a score to win. From Namath to Rogers, Martin to Brees, Maynard, Crevette, and that Wilson release. We are the New York Jets, and our team is complete. And our number one defense is just bringing the heat. So come one, come all, and catch us defeat. Come one, come all, you're gonna need to retreat. We are the New York Jets, no other team can compete. And the Dolphin Bills and Pats are just to take up that seat. We are the New York Jets, we are the team to beat. We are the New York Jets, and we bringing that heat. We are the New York Jets, putting that on repeat. We are the New York Jets, we back up in these streets. We are the New York Jets, we are the team to beat. We are the New York Jets, and we bringing that heat. We are the New York Jets, putting that on repeat. We are the New York Jets, we back up in the streets. Yo, I'm about to get offensive. Let's go! Aaron Rodgers, Taylor, Travis, Davis, Braylon, Brees, Tyler, Tiller, Simpson, Moses, Vera, Tucker, Peace, Conklin, Hunter, Boa, Rucker, Titus, getting free. Wilson, Williams, Corley, Lazar, Gibson, Jason Brown, in the heart of the city, standing tall as World Trade. Green and white, but we green, coming to every day. What pays the cost? So we the boss, and our defense is on fire. Like hot sauce.
Like hot sauce. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Okay,
VR,
who's the Ghost
come
Rider?
on. Let's
Who's the
go,
Ghost
bro.
Rider?
Listen, when VR sent it to me, and I was like, yes. And VR,
That
number
was
one,
fine.
bro, thank you so much. I mean, he sent it to me before it was even done. To get input. I loved it. And when I heard the switch then, the reggaeton kicked in, everybody got bone in my body. I was like, wow, bro, I was lit. I was like, let's go. Listen, guys, go check out the whole thing. VR, before you leave, put the link. Actually, I can put the link right now. He then even switches it up again, and then he brings you like a rock beat. Oh my! Listen, go check it out. VR. Before I let you go, bro, talk on the track. What made you want to do it, bro? Talk on it.
Yo, you know, I felt like this was the season. I felt last season was the season until 4 plays in. But this season, now that Aaron Rodgers is coming back, you know, we've all been, you know, struggling on the struggle bus as Jets fans for a long time, right? And I think this year is the year, you know what I mean, that we can go far, that we can possibly win this chip. So from my heart, I just said, you know what? I'm going to put something together from my heart and my soul. We don't have an anthem. We don't have something out there. I mean, I think we have a fight song from like maybe back in the 50s, like the Eagles song, you know, but we don't have something like for now that we can like say, oh, you know what I'm saying? Let's go in the stadium and dance to this and like have a good time and, you know, big up our players right now. You know what I mean? Like give them their props, give, you know, the administration their props. And so I put this together and I just said, you know, I want to have fun. I want to be nostalgic. I want to, you know, big up the players, prop up the players that we have right now and prop up our fans, man. We are the best,
bro.
We are the New York Jets fans are the best fans among all the fans in the NFL, in all sports. Like we have all these content creators. No other fan base has this on YouTube or anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Look who the fans are of our teams. You got like Mike Greenberg, you got Rich Eisen, you got George R.R. Martin, who writes the Game of Thrones books. You got, you know what I mean, like superstars and different people that, I mean, they are Jets fans just like us, struggle with us, emotional like us. And, you know, I just wanted to put something out there that everyone could appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, let me tell you, you nailed it, bro. All right. You say we want people to appreciate it. Everybody's head backstage was bobbing. The chat was throwing fire emojis, bro. Listen, it's official, people. Every time VR shows up for an open panel or we hang out, VR, you got to say, like hot sauce on the way out, bro. Yeah. Shout out to VR, bro. He freaking killed it. Guys, I love that. You know, when you see people in the community that just they want to have fun and put things out like that we all can enjoy. You know, the Knicks community does a lot, and so many just artists that we have. So shout out VR, great job, bro.
That was dope.
That was nice.
Right? Abs, I saw you line up to it. And he said, "Hold
all
on,
the reggaeton stuff." I was like,
I just realized we put too much Latino on the one side of the show today. I should All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us build the shittiest offense possible. Let's do our recap next week. If all 250 plus you want to come back and hang out, we're going to do defense. We're going to, oh man, that's going to be, I think worse than offense is going to be so bad. Quarterback for the worst Jets team on the Jets Evening Brew, starter, Christian Hackenberg. And quarterback number 2, Tim Boyle. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your sleepless freaking night.
Trash.
At running back, the star-studded tank, Frank Gore. And backup, Mr. I'm Still on Abby's playlist on Spotify, Le'Veon Bell. Oh, my gosh.
He's driving somewhere.
Wide receivers, good Lord. Stephen Hill, Denzel Mims, Elijah Morris. Yeah, God.
Trash.
This is brutal. Tight end. Oh, gosh. Well, this one was what? Jay Samaro and Kellen Winslow.
And then Kyle Brady is right where he needs to be at 3, baby. So
trash.
And guys, it all happens behind Ducasi, Tomlinson, and Turner and Brown. Oh my God. I guarantee if we actually pull this off and he gets the ratings in there the way I want him to, and we put it up against our team now, I don't think we're going to see anything but injuries from every single player.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be so much fun. Gunny. Last words, bro. How you feeling tonight, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling good, man. This was fun. This was really fun. I mean, again, disgusting topic. Like we were getting a little apprehensive. It does go to show you though just how far this organization has come when you kind of sit back and you look at just how horrendous in terms of the level of talent we've had to endure as Jets fans. Y'all should be fucking excited, man. Like this is the year where we look at a team and we're like, damn, we're actually good across the entire roster, right? Very few holes. Actually, the only ones we're talking about are positions to go ahead and fortify, right? Depth, the safety room, wide receiver room, and interior offensive lineman. This is a great place to be in. It's a great spot to be in as Jets fans, man. And everybody's going to keep telling us like, oh, same old Jets. You guys keep doing this yourself every fucking year, blah, blah, blah. You know what? So be it. We have every reason to be excited, and I can't wait for this season to get here so we can start shutting some of these bitches up. So this was a fun exercise to at least get us to appreciate what we have currently right now in front of us. I don't know how long it's going to last, so I think we need to enjoy this.
Listen, the goal was let's go through the PTSD so we really go into the next 2 weeks with the appreciation because Abs, if we were starting tomorrow morning with Christian Hackenberg and Tim Boyle opposed to Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor, oh, we should be so happy. Last words, Abs. Take it away.
I mean, you don't go 13 years without going to the playoffs if you didn't have all this shit happen. So, yeah, Gunny said it perfectly. Looking at where we've been and the literal shit that we've had to where we are now. I mean, people think we're overhyping the Jets. No, they look better in every way, shape, and form as far as this offense. And I'm so after that song, I am so hyped for this year. Like, I'm gonna leave that shit.
Italy, bro, 2 weeks back together. You finally brought out an andiamo. You got a dope ass hat, making the rest of us look like we need to go spend more money, douche. But I love you. How you feeling after tonight, bro? Last words.
I mean, since I was 9, finally it's time to bring back the old logo, and it's going to bring back some charm. I hate a lot of the logos the Jets have over the years, and this is the good luck charm that's going to bring this back, hopefully, to the playoffs. Knock on all the wood. But it has seen us where it comes far. We have come so far. This is what I want to do. I want to go outside my door and beat the Chiefs so I can just flick them off. With my shirt off, just flick them off, so I could just enjoy the playoffs. That's what I want, but it's a lot of good things that are going to happen this year.
That's fair, bro. And I love that you brought the logo into it, right? Another thing to be excited about. Had so many people happy about the logo. Brandon, and that big brain of yours, bro. Last words.
Yeah, I think Gunny said it, but it's a great activity to give us perspective, although I wasn't appreciative of all the PTSD of being a Jets fan that came up from basically my entire life. So can't wait to do the defense next week. Woo!
Hey, everybody, I know, Gunny, I saw you laughing for a second, all right? And I know it's because of freaking, who was it, Johnny? And don't ignore it. Shut up, Johnny. Yeah, asshole. Guys, I love our show. I love hanging out with you guys. I love the fact that last week, we were like, we're going to rotate each week, and both Abs and Gunny were like, you know what? We're both available tonight. So hopefully it's every week, but they're going to rotate in and out. Some weeks it'll be all of us. Brandon's here every week. Italy, all of us. Smack the like, hit the subscribe on the way out. And I'm still always going to end it with one thing. Go Jets!